Beloved friend, within you right now lies a silent, loving, infinite power that is ready to respond to your every thought. This divine intelligence which created the universe and sustains all life is also the source of your unlimited wealth. Today I invite you to awaken to the divine whisper that never ceases to speak within your subconscious mind. A gentle, persistent whisper that, when recognized and accepted, multiplies your wealth daily in ways beyond your current imagination. As you listen with faith and feeling, you will discover that wealth is not something you chase, but something that flows to you naturally when you align your mind with the infinite riches of the divine. The kingdom of wealth is within you. Let us now open our minds and hearts to this transforming truth. The divine whisper is constantly speaking abundance into your subconscious mind. Friend, right now, in this very moment, a gentle yet powerful voice is whispering within you. It is not a voice that shouts or demands attention in the outer world. No, it is the quiet, persistent divine whisper that flows endlessly from the infinite intelligence, the one source that created the stars, the oceans, the mountains, and every living thing. This whisper is speaking directly to your subconscious mind, the deep creative part of you that never sleeps, never rests, and never fails to respond according to the impressions it receives. This divine whisper is not distant or reserved for a chosen few. It is ever present, always active, always ready to multiply whatever you consciously or unconsciously accept as true. It speaks in the language of feeling and faith. It says to you, you are one with infinite riches. Supply is forever flowing. Wealth is your natural state. But most people never hear it clearly because they fill their minds with the noise of limitation, fear, doubt, and lack. They listen instead to the outer world's suggestions of scarcity, competition, and struggle. Yet the whisper continues, patiently, lovingly, waiting for you to turn inward and recognize its presence. Your subconscious mind is the fertile soil of your life. Whatever seed you plant in it, through your repeated thoughts, beliefs, and emotional acceptances, it will take that seed and multiply it according to its kind. Just as the earth takes a tiny acorn and grows it into a mighty oak tree, your subconscious takes the idea of abundance and grows it into visible wealth, opportunities, harmonious conditions, and financial increase. The divine whisper is constantly dropping seeds of abundance into the soil. It is always suggesting expansion, circulation, and effortless supply. God is the source of my supply. His riches flow to me freely, copiously, and abundantly. This is the essence of the whisper. When you quiet the chatter of the conscious mind and sit in stillness, you begin to sense this whisper more clearly. It is the inner knowing that there is always enough, that you are worthy of prosperity, that money circulates in your life as easily as blood flows through your veins. The whisper reminds you that wealth is not something you must chase with strain and effort. It is something that flows to you naturally when your mind is attuned to the divine pattern of abundance. Infinite intelligence within you knows no lack. It knows only limitless supply, and it is forever seeking to express that supply through you in the form of money, ideas, clients, contracts, promotions, and unexpected channels of good. Many have discovered this truth through simple yet profound practice. They learned that by turning their attention away from bills, debts, or financial worries, and instead listening to the divine whisper, their outer conditions began to change in remarkable ways. One man who felt trapped in a low-paying job started to affirm quietly each morning, "The divine whisper of abundance is now filling my subconscious mind, and wealth is multiplying in my experience daily." He did not force anything. He simply listened and felt the truth of those words. Within months, new opportunities appeared that he had never imagined. Doors opened. Income increased. The whisper had been speaking all along. He simply began to listen and accept its message. Your subconscious mind accepts what you feel to be true. It does not argue. It does not question. It magnifies and multiplies. If you feel poor, it multiplies poverty. If you feel rich in consciousness, it multiplies riches. The divine whisper is always trying to lift you into the higher feeling of wealth. It urges you to claim your good now. It tells you that the kingdom of abundance is within you, not in some far-off place or future time. Right now, at this moment, the creative power of the universe is ready to respond to your dominant mental attitude. Think of it this way: the subconscious is like a faithful servant that works day and night to bring into your experience whatever you have impressed upon it with conviction. The divine whisper is the master key that unlocks the right impressions. When you align with it, you stop planting seeds of worry and start planting seeds of joy, gratitude, and expectation of good. You begin to feel the reality of wealth before it appears in your bank account. You walk, talk, and act as one who knows that money is forever circulating freely in your life, and there is always a divine surplus. This whisper operates through the law of mind. Whatever you impress upon the subconscious with faith and feeling must express itself as form and experience. It cannot do otherwise. That is why some people seem to attract money effortlessly while others struggle. The difference is not in luck or background or education. The difference lies in what they allow the divine whisper to impress upon their deeper mind. Those who listen and accept the message of abundance create a wealth consciousness. Those who ignore it or argue against it through thoughts of limitation remain in lack. Every night as you drift into sleep, the subconscious becomes highly receptive. This is a golden time to let the divine whisper speak clearly. Instead of reviewing the problems of the day, release all concern and affirm with deep feeling: the divine whisper of wealth is now active in my subconscious mind. Infinite riches are flowing to me in expected and unexpected ways. Feel the joy of it. Feel the confidence that comes from knowing the infinite is working for you. As you do this consistently, the whisper grows stronger in its influence. It begins to dominate your thinking. Old patterns of lack dissolve, and new patterns of prosperity take root and grow rapidly. The whisper also speaks through intuition. You may suddenly feel guided to make a certain call, to explore a new opportunity, or to invest time in a skill. These gentle nudges are the divine whisper at work, directing you toward channels of increase. When you follow them with trust, even small actions can lead to multiplied results. One idea received in quiet listening can become the seed of a business that grows beyond your wildest dreams. The subconscious mind knows how to connect you with the right people, the right circumstances, and the right timing. Your role is simply to listen and obey the inner promptings without doubt or delay. Consider how nature itself demonstrates this principle of multiplication. A single thought of abundance, when nourished with faith, grows like a mustard seed into a great tree that provides shelter and fruit for many. The divine whisper is constantly offering you these seeds. It never withholds. It never judges whether you are worthy. It only responds to your acceptance. When you say in your heart, I am open to the flow of divine wealth, the whisper intensifies and begins to rearrange your mental atmosphere. Negative beliefs that block the flow start to lose their power. Confidence rises. Expectancy grows. And as your inner state changes, your outer world must conform, because the outer is always a reflection of the inner. Many who have walked this path report the same experience. At first, the changes are subtle: a small, unexpected payment, a kind gesture that saves money, an idea that improves efficiency. Then, as the subconscious becomes saturated with the feeling of abundance, the multiplication accelerates. Money comes from multiple sources. Opportunities multiply. Clients increase. Investments appreciate. The law is impersonal and exact. It works for anyone who aligns with it. The divine whisper does not play favorites. It speaks to all, but only those who tune their minds to its frequency receive its full blessings in visible form. Your thoughts are creative. Your feelings are the fuel. When you combine positive thoughts of wealth with the warm feeling of joy and gratitude, you create a powerful impression on the subconscious. The divine whisper loves this harmony. It amplifies it. It takes your acceptance of prosperity and multiplies it in countless ways. You do not need to know exactly how the money will come. That is the work of the infinite intelligence within you. Your part is to maintain the consciousness of abundance and to listen faithfully to the whisper that says, all is well, supply is here now. You are prosperous. In the stillness of your own mind, away from the rush and noise of daily life, you can hear this whisper more distinctly. Sit quietly, relax your body, let go of all tension. Then turn your attention inward and declare softly, the divine whisper is now speaking abundance into every cell of my being and into my subconscious mind. Feel it as already true. Let a sense of peace and confidence fill you. This is not daydreaming. This is scientific prayer. This is conscious cooperation with the creative power of the universe. As you practice this, the whisper becomes a constant companion, guiding you, reassuring you, and steadily multiplying your good. The subconscious mind has no limits except those you place upon it through your beliefs. Remove the limits by listening to the divine whisper instead of the suggestions of the world. The world may say times are hard, money is scarce, opportunities are few. The divine whisper says the opposite. Infinite supply is available. The universe is abundant. You are a channel for unlimited wealth. Which voice will you believe? The one you choose to accept with feeling will be the one that multiplies in your experience. Every day offers a fresh opportunity to let this whisper work more powerfully. Upon waking, before your feet touch the floor, affirm with conviction that the divine whisper of wealth is active within you. Throughout the day, whenever a thought of lack tries to enter, gently replace it with the truth. The infinite is supplying all my needs now. In the evening, give thanks for the increase that is already on its way, even if you cannot yet see it with your physical eyes. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to keep the channel open and allow the whisper to do its perfect work. This process is simple, yet its effects are profound and far-reaching. It transforms not only your financial condition, but your entire outlook on life. You move from anxiety to assurance, from struggle to flow, from doubt to deep inner knowing. You begin to see money as a divine idea circulating for the good of all. You rejoice in the success of others because you know there is more than enough for everyone. Competition fades and cooperation with the divine law takes its place. The divine whisper never stops. It is speaking to you right now as you absorb these words. It is planting ideas of expansion, freedom, and joyful prosperity deep within your subconscious. Accept them, feel them, live with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing the infinite power is on your side, working through you, multiplying your wealth in perfect divine order. The more you listen, the clearer the whisper becomes. The more you accept its message, the faster the multiplication occurs. There is a gold mine within you. The divine whisper is the key that opens it. Turn your attention inward daily. Claim your inheritance as a child of the infinite. Let the whisper fill your mind with visions of abundance, with feelings of gratitude, with the absolute conviction that wealth is increasing in your life now. As you do, you will witness the law in action. To him that hath the feeling of wealth, more wealth shall be given, and it shall be multiplied abundantly. The whisper continues its gentle, persistent work, reshaping your mental patterns, dissolving old limitations, and building a new consciousness of effortless supply. Every thought aligned with it strengthens the flow. Every feeling of joy and expectancy accelerates the multiplication. You are not alone in this. The same infinite intelligence that sustains the universe is actively expressing through your subconscious mind, bringing forth the riches that are your divine birthright. Listen, feel, accept. The divine whisper is constantly speaking abundance into your subconscious mind, and as you open yourself to its message, your wealth begins to multiply daily in ways that will astonish and delight you. This is the great truth. This is the living reality available to you now. Wealth flows to you effortlessly when you live in the joyful expectation of divine supply. Deep within your being, there exists a perfect spiritual law that responds instantly to the quality of your consciousness. When you shift from strain and struggle into a state of joyful expectation, something remarkable begins to happen. The infinite intelligence that governs all creation starts moving through you in new and powerful ways. Wealth no longer feels like something you must chase or fight for. Instead, it becomes a natural, harmonious flow that moves toward you with ease and grace. This is not wishful thinking or mere positive thinking. This is the operation of the divine law when your mind is attuned to the reality of infinite supply. Joyful expectation is one of the highest states of consciousness you can cultivate. It is more than hoping or wishing. It is a deep, quiet confidence that the divine is already supplying all your needs and desires in perfect ways. When you live in this state, you stop pushing against conditions and begin to allow the current of abundance to carry you forward. Your subconscious mind, being highly responsive to feeling, picks up this joyful expectancy and begins to magnetize opportunities, people, money, and favorable circumstances into your experience. The effort drops away because you are no longer operating from the limited personal self. You are allowing the greater divine power to work through you. Imagine waking each morning with a gentle smile of anticipation, knowing that today the divine supply is flowing towards you in expected and unexpected channels. There is no anxiety about how the money will come. There is only the peaceful assurance that it is already on its way. This joyful expectation acts like a powerful magnet. It draws wealth because it vibrates at the frequency of abundance rather than lack. The subconscious mind does not respond well to forced effort or desperate wanting. It responds magnificently to calm, happy faith, filled with the feeling that all is well and supply is assured. Many individuals have transformed their financial lives simply by adopting this attitude of joyful expectation. They stopped checking their bank balance with worry and began greeting each day with the inner statement, I joyously expect the divine supply to flow to me freely today. They carried this feeling with them throughout their activities. They worked with a lighter heart. They made decisions from a place of trust rather than fear. And gradually, sometimes dramatically, the outer picture began to match their inner conviction. New clients appeared. Old debts were cleared in surprising ways. Income streams that had been stagnant suddenly expanded. The common thread in every such story is the release of struggle and the embrace of joyful expectancy. The divine supply is not limited by economic conditions, location, or background. It is unlimited because it springs from the infinite itself. When you live in joyful expectation of this supply, you align your mind with its boundless nature. You stop looking at the outer world as the source and begin to recognize the true source within. This recognition alone dissolves many mental blocks. You realize that money is simply a symbol of the circulating energy of the universe. As long as you keep the channel open through positive expectancy and joy, the symbol flows abundantly. Effortless flow does not mean you sit idle and do nothing. It means your actions are inspired rather than forced. You move through your day with a sense of ease and right action. Ideas come more freely. Solutions appear naturally. Conversations lead to opportunities because your relaxed, joyful state puts others at ease and opens doors. The subconscious mind, saturated with the feeling of divine supply, orchestrates events behind the scenes in ways your conscious mind could never plan. One small inspired action can lead to multiplied results when it is backed by joyful expectation. Consider how nature operates in perfect flow. Rivers do not struggle to reach the sea. Trees do not strain to grow their fruits. Everything in the natural world expresses with effortless rhythm because it is aligned with the divine intelligence. When you bring your mind into the same alignment through joyful expectation, you begin to operate under the same harmonious law. Wealth flows to you in the same way oxygen flows to your lungs or blood flows through your veins without conscious effort on your part. Your only task is to maintain the inner state of joyful trust. Living in this consciousness means refusing to entertain thoughts of lack. even when outer conditions temporarily suggest otherwise. When a bill arrives or an unexpected expense appears, the person anchored in joyful expectation does not fall into fear. Instead, they quietly affirm, the divine supply is greater than this need, and it is flowing to me now. They return to the feeling of joy and continue their day with confidence. This consistent return to the truth prevents the subconscious from being impressed with negative images. Over time, the old habit of worry is replaced by the new habit of peaceful expectancy, and the flow of wealth becomes more steady and abundant. Joy is a powerful multiplier in this process. When you infuse your expectation with genuine joy, you raise your vibrational state significantly. The subconscious mind loves joy because joy is the natural expression of the divine life within you. A mind filled with joy cannot remain in poverty consciousness for long. Joy opens the heart and mind, creating space for greater good to enter. It dissolves resentment, envy, and self-pity, emotions that block the flow of supply. As joy becomes your dominant feeling, wealth begins to manifest in larger and more frequent ways. The practice of joyful expectation can be cultivated daily through simple yet consistent inner work. In the morning, before beginning your activities, take a few quiet moments to feel the reality of divine supply. See yourself moving through the day with ease and receiving good from every direction. Feel the lightness in your heart. Smile inwardly at the knowledge that the infinite is working on your behalf. Throughout the day, whenever you think of money or your future, gently bring your mind back to this joyful feeling. Say to yourself with conviction, I joyously expect divine supply to multiply in my life today. Let the words sink deeply into your subconscious, accompanied by the warm emotion of gratitude and happiness. As this attitude strengthens, you will notice a shift in how you view your work and daily affairs. Tasks that once felt heavy become lighter. Challenges turn into opportunities for growth and increase. You begin to attract people who are also aligned with abundance. Because like attracts, like in the realm of mind, business deals flow more smoothly. Creative ideas emerge with greater frequency. Even in areas that seem blocked, movement begins because your joyful expectation is constantly impressing the subconscious with positive, prosperous images. The law of mind is exact. It reproduces in your outer world the dominant feeling you hold within. When joyful expectation of divine supply becomes your dominant feeling, the law must respond by bringing corresponding experiences. Money arrives through normal channels as well as through unexpected avenues. A refund you forgot about appears. A friend offers a lucrative opportunity. A new skill you develop suddenly becomes highly valuable. The ways are endless because the intelligence behind the supply is infinite and creative. This effortless flow is your true natural state. Struggle and hardship are not required for prosperity. They are simply the result of misaligned thinking. When you correct the alignment by living in joyful expectation, the struggle falls away naturally. You begin to experience life as it was meant to be experienced, as a joyful expression of the divine abundance. Wealth becomes a normal part of your daily experience, rather than a rare or difficult achievement. Every moment offers you the choice to return to this state of joyful expectancy. In traffic, in meetings, while paying bills, while planning your future, you can choose to feel the quiet joy of knowing that divine supply is active and flowing. This consistent choice reprograms your subconscious mind. Old patterns of limitation lose their grip. New patterns of ease and increase take root and grow rapidly. The more you practice, the more automatic this joyful state becomes until it forms the very atmosphere in which you live. The divine intelligence within you knows exactly how to bring wealth into your experience in the best possible way. Your role is not to figure out the how. Your role is to hold the vision and the feeling of joyful expectation. Trust that the same power that creates galaxies and maintains perfect order in the universe can easily handle the details of your financial supply. When you release the burden of figuring everything out and rest in joyful trust, you allow that power to work more freely through you. As you continue to live from this consciousness, you will find that wealth flows not only in the form of money, but also in health, harmonious relationships, creative inspiration, and overall well-being. All aspects of life begin to improve because the root cause, your mental and emotional alignment with divine supply, has been corrected. Joyful expectation becomes your natural way of being, and the effortless flow of good becomes your everyday reality. The feeling of joyful expectation is like turning on a switch that connects you directly to the unlimited reservoir of divine riches. Once the connection is made and maintained, the current flows steadily and increasingly. You do not need to force the flow. You simply need to keep the channel clear through consistent, happy faith. The divine supply is always ready. It is always abundant. It is always seeking expression through those who are open to receive it with joy and gratitude. Living in this state transforms not only your bank account, but your entire experience of life. You move through your days with a quiet smile of anticipation, knowing that good is unfolding for you in perfect divine order. Opportunities multiply, resources appear, ideas flourish. And through it all, there is an underlying sense of peace and confidence that comes from knowing you are aligned with the infinite source of all wealth. This is the great secret that has changed the lives of countless people across time. They discovered that when they stopped struggling and started living in the joyful expectation of divine supply, wealth began to flow to them effortlessly, naturally, and in ever-increasing measure. The same principle is available to you now. The same power is within you. The same law is ready to respond the moment you fully embrace this beautiful state of consciousness. Wealth flows to you effortlessly when you live in the joyful expectation of divine supply. And as you make this your dominant way of thinking and feeling, the outer world rearranges itself to reflect your inner conviction in beautiful and abundant ways. By affirming and feeling the presence of infinite riches within, you activate the law of multiplication. Right at the center of your being, there is a presence that is pure, limitless, and forever abundant. This presence is the infinite riches of God, the divine substance from which all wealth is formed. When you consciously affirm this presence and feel its reality deep within your subconscious mind, you set into motion one of the most powerful spiritual laws, the law of multiplication. This law is exact, impersonal, and unfailing. It takes whatever you impress upon it with conviction and feeling and expands it in ever-increasing measure. Affirmation is not mere repetition of words. It is the conscious direction of your thought toward a definite spiritual truth. When you affirm with authority and belief, "Infinite riches are within me now," you are not speaking empty phrases. You are declaring a fundamental reality of your being. The infinite intelligence that created you has placed within you the seed of all good, including unlimited financial supply. By affirming this truth repeatedly and with deep conviction, you impress it firmly upon your subconscious mind, which then accepts it as fact and begins to externalize it in your daily experience. Feeling is the secret that turns affirmation into living power. It is not enough to say the words mechanically. You must enter into the feeling of the presence of infinite riches. You must sense it as warm, living, and real. Feel the joy and freedom that come with knowing you are one with this infinite supply. Feel the confidence and peace that arise when you realize lack has no real power over you. As you combine clear affirmation with rich, positive feeling, the subconscious mind receives a strong, unmistakable impression. It immediately goes to work to multiply that impression in your outer world. The law of multiplication operates on the principle that whatever you plant in the garden of your mind with faith will grow and bear fruit many times over. A single thought held with deep feeling is like a tiny seed. When nourished by repeated affirmation and sustained emotional acceptance, it expands rapidly. One idea of wealth, properly affirmed and felt, can multiply into hundreds of opportunities. One strong acceptance of infinite riches can dissolve years of financial struggle and replace it with steady, growing prosperity. This is not magic. It is the natural working of the creative law of mind when correctly applied. Every time you affirm and feel the presence of infinite riches within, you are tuning your mental radio to the frequency of abundance. The subconscious mind acts as both receiver and broadcaster. It receives the impression from your conscious affirmation and feeling, then broadcasts it into your life as tangible results. Money begins to appear through new channels. Clients are drawn to you. Ideas for increasing income flow into your awareness. Doors that once seemed closed swing open because the inner presence you are affirming is now actively expressing itself outwardly. Consider the simplicity and power of this practice. In the quiet of the morning or the stillness of the night, you close your eyes, relax your body, and begin to affirm slowly and deliberately, "The presence of infinite riches is now filling my subconscious mind. I am one with unlimited wealth." As you speak these words, you allow yourself to feel their truth. You imagine the warm glow of abundance spreading through your entire being. You feel rich, secure, and grateful. You dwell in this feeling until it becomes real to you. Each session of such affirmative prayer strengthens the impression. With consistent practice, the feeling of infinite riches becomes your natural state of consciousness. This inner presence knows no limitation. It is not affected by market conditions, economic news, or past failures. It is eternal, unchanging, and always available. When you affirm and feel this presence, you rise above appearances and contact the real source of supply. You stop depending on outer conditions for your prosperity and begin depending upon the infinite within. This shift in dependence is crucial. As long as you look outside yourself for wealth, you remain vulnerable to changing circumstances. When you affirm and feel the riches already present within, you become independent of external conditions and begin to master them. The law of multiplication works silently and powerfully once activated. You may not see immediate large changes, but small signs often appear first as confirmation that the law is responding. A small unexpected sum arrives. An old debt is forgiven or paid easily. Someone offers help or information that saves or earns you money. These early manifestations are the first fruits of your affirmation and feeling. They are evidence that your subconscious has accepted the new impression and is now multiplying it according to its nature. As you continue to affirm and feel the presence, these signs grow larger and more frequent until the multiplication becomes obvious and steady. Feeling the presence requires you to live from the end. Instead of waiting for wealth to appear before feeling rich, you feel rich first. You carry the consciousness of infinite riches with you throughout the day. When you pay a bill, you do so with the feeling that you are circulating the divine substance freely and that more is returning to you multiplied. When you see beautiful things you would like to own, you affirm that infinite riches are within you and that you can experience such good and divine order. This constant inner alignment keeps the law of multiplication active and growing in momentum. Many people have used this exact method to transform their financial lives. They move from barely surviving to living in comfort and then to genuine prosperity by persistently affirming and feeling the presence of infinite riches. They did not wait for perfect conditions. They created the inner condition first through affirmation and feeling, and the outer world gradually conformed. One person who faced mounting debts began affirming daily, "Infinite riches flow through me now. I am surrounded by the presence of unlimited supply." He combined these words with a feeling of relief and gratitude. Month after month, new sources of income opened. Debts were cleared. Savings grew. The multiplication continued until his financial situation was completely transformed. The subconscious mind has no ability to reject what you impress upon it with sufficient feeling and repetition. When you affirm the presence of infinite riches and sincerely feel it, you are giving your deeper mind a new blueprint. It tears down the old blueprint of lack and builds a new structure based on abundance. Old fears and limiting beliefs lose their hold because they are no longer being fed. New beliefs rooted in spiritual truth take their place and begin to express as multiplied wealth. This practice also awakens your intuitive faculties. As the law of multiplication gains strength, you become more sensitive to inner guidance. Ideas for new ventures, improvements in your current work, or creative solutions come to you more easily. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people. These synchronistic events are the natural result of your aligned consciousness. The infinite presence within you knows all channels and uses them to multiply your good when you give it permission through affirmation and feeling. Affirmation backed by feeling is scientific prayer. It is conscious cooperation with the creative power of the universe. You are not begging or pleading for wealth. You are claiming and accepting what is already yours by divine right. The presence of infinite riches is not something you must earn through hard labor or special merit. It is your spiritual inheritance. By affirming and feeling this truth, you remove the mental barriers that have kept this inheritance hidden from your experience. Each day presents fresh opportunities to strengthen this activation. Upon awakening, affirm the presence. While working, quietly affirm and feel it. Before sleep, impress your subconscious once more with the reality of infinite riches within you. Consistency is the key. The law of multiplication rewards steady, faithful application. The more you affirm and feel this presence, the deeper the impression becomes, and the faster the multiplication occurs in your life. There is no limit to how much this law can multiply your wealth once it is properly activated. The infinite has no boundaries. When your consciousness expands to accept greater levels of supply, the law responds accordingly. What seems like a large sum today can become normal tomorrow as your capacity to receive grows. This is the beauty of the law of multiplication. It is progressive and expansive. It continues to increase as long as you continue to affirm and feel the presence within. The presence of infinite riches is not somewhere far away. It is closer than your breathing, nearer than your hands and feet. It is the very life within you. When you affirm its reality and feel its power, you are simply acknowledging what has always been true. You are removing the veil of ignorance that made you believe in lack. In its place, you establish the clear realization that you are a channel for unlimited divine wealth. As this realization deepens, your entire attitude toward money changes. You see it as a useful and harmonious part of life rather than a source of worry. You circulate it freely with joy, knowing that as you give, the law of multiplication ensures that more returns to you. You bless the money that comes to you and bless it as it leaves, keeping the channel open and the flow strong. The activation of the law of multiplication through affirmation and feeling is available to every person. It does not depend on education, social status, or past achievements. It depends only on your willingness to turn within, affirm the spiritual truth, and feel the living presence of infinite riches. When you do this faithfully, the law begins its perfect work. It dissolves obstacles, creates new avenues, and steadily multiplies your wealth in ways that often surprise and delight you. By affirming and feeling the presence of infinite riches within, you align yourself with the creative intelligence of the universe. You activate forces that have always been ready to serve you. The law of multiplication starts operating immediately and continues to expand your good as you maintain this inner alignment. Your financial experience begins to reflect the unlimited nature of the divine presence you are claiming and feeling. Opportunities multiply. Income grows. Freedom increases. All because you chose to affirm and feel the truth that infinite riches are already within you now. This inner work is the master key to lasting prosperity. It is simple, powerful, and always effective when practiced with sincerity and feeling. The presence awaits your recognition. The law stands ready to multiply. All that is required is your consistent affirmation and the warm, living feeling that the infinite riches of God are active within you at this very moment. By affirming and feeling the presence of infinite riches within, you activate the law of multiplication, and your life becomes a continuous demonstration of expanding wealth, freedom, and divine supply in every area of your experience.